Welcome to today's show, the Down to Earth with Katy show. Today we're going to be doing some relaxation exercises and a sing-along, a quiz, and a Q&A session and a Down to Earth chat. So I really hope you like this new format for the CFS to Happiness podcast. If you're listening on the podcast, if you're watching live or on the replay, do come and say hi. And we are in the YouTube channel Down to Earth with Katy. So I am doing a new format for the live show, and I'm trying to make it very fun, uplifting, inspirational, educational, and very, very relaxing, and create a sense of community here. So I really hope you enjoy it. Do let me know if you do. So this is the second show that I'm going to be putting onto the podcast in this new format, and it's actually number 16 episode of the podcast, the CFS to Happiness podcast. So first of all, we're going to start with a little chit chat about holidays, managing holidays and exhaustion and stuff like that. And then let me show you what we're going to get into. If you're watching, we are going to do some relaxation exercises, breathing deeply, head and neck exercises, and some arm stretches as well. I've been doing these exercises with my vocal students for a good on 15 years with a lot of students, so I've got a lot of experience in this, and so I'm really hoping it will help you. So we're going to be doing that, having a little heart-to-heart chat first of all. Then we are going to have a shout out to somebody in the Sleepy Girls Club who has some wins, some thoughts that might help you. We're going to do a little quiz together, so do stay for that, and a sing-along of a song from a show. I'm hoping you'll enjoy that, and then a little Q&A session at the end. So these shows are for you if you have CFS or fatigue in any way, and you want to share a little bit in the community, have a bit of fun, feel a bit uplifted, all those good things. So let me just bring my sound level down slightly so I'm not blasting you out too much. And let's have a little chit chat. So I've got my coffee. How about you? What are you drinking right now? Have you got something in your hand? So a heart to heart chit chat. I've just come back from a lovely holiday that we had up in the north of England. And I did a tiny weeny bit of the driving on the motorway. I'd love to know if you can drive, if you are driving at the moment, or that's too much for you. I totally understand. I did a tiny weeny bit. Ooh, that was enough. But it was a lot of traveling, a lot of seeing different places. And I don't know about you as well, but us, when we have chronic fatigue syndrome, we can get really overstimulated, and things whizzing past in the car can be really quite difficult for us. So how to manage that? I'd love to know your thoughts. One of the things that I do is I've got a little game on my phone that as long as there's mobile signal, it works quite well. It's not overly stimulating. Have you heard of a little game called Fishdom? It's so cute. I'm on level 5,000 and something or other. I'm on a very high level on that. And it just takes me away from getting all anxious about what's going on, and it just takes me into another little place in my game. So I'd love to know if you've got a little game that you play as well. So that helps to manage that side of things. And then, when we are doing stuff that's a bit out of our comfort zone. It enables us to just have to push ourselves a little bit. How do you overcome that fatigue feeling, or not overcome it, but deal with it? We have to be so kind to ourselves when we've got this CFS, ME situation going on. We have to realize that if we're feeling unwell, so I was getting migraines, that it's fine. It's all part of the body just coping with this higher level of what we're doing at the moment. So being kind to yourself, I think, is really key, isn't it? So I'd love to know your thoughts about dealing with holiday exhaustion, and, you know, whether you feel it's worth it on holiday, pushing yourself like that. I think it definitely is, but we do need to take care of ourselves, and extra care and understanding of ourselves. So that's a little heart-to-heart chat today. So now let's get into a little bit of stretches, a bit of breathing. A bit of just chilling out. So let's put a bit of chill out, relaxing music if I can find it. Okay. So I want you just to take a deep breath in through your nose and then breathe it out. And if you purse your lips a little bit, you'll feel the breath coming out through your mouth. So let's just ban somebody. Okay, so breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And just try and relax your abdominal muscles, your abdominal wall. So when we're breathing properly, you may feel that your ribs are just swinging out a bit and slightly lifting, not your shoulders, but your ribs, and your tummy's just expanding a little bit. And there's a little bit of expansion around your lower back as well when you breathe in. Because when we breathe in, think about putting air into a balloon and it just expands a little bit. And then when we breathe out, it contracts. So just try and relax your abdominal wall and allow it to do that. If you can't do that, if you find it really difficult, if you lie down with your knees up and try it again, and just try and chill out and relax and don't focus or stress about it, you should feel that it works a bit better. So that's good breathing. Okay, so we're just going to roll our shoulders in big circles, not squashed up to your ears, but stretch your shoulders laterally, horizontally, laterally, if that's the right word. And you can imagine that you've got pencils on the end of your shoulders and you're drawing big circles. And do remember to breathe when you do that. So big circles forward and big circles backwards. Okay, we're going to hunch our shoulders to our ears now, but don't squash them. Keep them out and let that breath go as your shoulders go. Scrunch up, breathe in and relax your shoulders and let that breath go. And then just shake out your shoulders a little bit so there's no tension at all. Okay, so let's arm stretches now. So reach up and out with your arms. Stretch your fingers. Give them a little curl and wiggle. And then stretch them forward. And if you push your back backwards a little bit, so you get that lovely big stretch. And then stretch your arms behind you. Don't do anything that's really uncomfortable. It should just feel like a lovely deep stretch. Always breathe at the same time. Now you can hold your elbow with your other hand, and you can just pull your elbow towards you a little bit, so you're stretching your hand back behind you, if that makes sense. And then do it the other way. So you bend your arm, hold your elbow and sort of push it towards you. Okay. All right, just check you're nice and loose in your neck. And then your ear, just relax it down to your shoulder and let it just drop, drop, drop to your shoulder. And then the other ear to the other shoulder, let it drop, drop, drop towards your shoulder. Lovely. And then gently, carefully head up. And then feeling like you've got a very long back of your neck. Your spine feels really elongated. I want you to we're going to turn our head, but only so much so it's a bit of a stretch. So if you turn your nose towards your shoulder and just have a bit of a stretch, and then bring it back, and then to the other shoulder, and bring it back, and have a gentle shake out, and another couple of deep breaths, and we're done with our breathing exercises. I hope you enjoyed that, your warm-up exercises rather. So we get to the little section which is a little shout out to somebody in the Sleepy Girls Club. So if you're not in there, do come and join us. It's a Facebook group, a free Facebook group, and we encourage each other and share tips and encouragement and little bits of fun. So Ruth in there we were talking about some tips for sleeping, and I mentioned about the circadian rhythm and things like that, and asked if anyone had any thoughts about tips for sleeping, because when you have CFS, ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, sleep can be a real issue. And so Ruth said that something that helps her is a hot blanket on her legs and a weighted blanket as well. Lots of people find that a weighted blanket really helps, and lots of people find that heat really helps with some things too. But others find they need cold. Like for me, for example, my feet burn. They really burn, so I have to try and keep them as cold as possible. But there are areas that I need heat as well, and some people find a weighted blanket is just too sort of heavy and it increases their anxiety. So it's just something that you have to think about whether it would help you or hinder you. If you're somebody who feels a bit claustrophobic and you get a bit anxious, you have those issues, it might not be best for you, but it can really be very calming actually for other people with anxiety. So it's really worth a thought. So thank you for sharing that, Ruth. Brilliant tip that's helped you. So we get onto our little quiz now. So a few quiz questions, and you can put your answers if you're watching live or on the replay in the comments, or on the podcast I'll tell you the answers at the end as well. So let's get some jazzy music going on for our little quiz. So there's 3 questions. Question number 1. What country has the highest life expectancy? What country has the highest life expectancy? So have a little think while I do a little dance. Okay, question number 2. Where would you be if you were standing on the Spanish steps? Where would you be if you were standing on the Spanish steps? Have a go with that one. Okay, last question. Which language has the more native speakers? English or Spanish? English or Spanish? Have a little think. Okay, right. Jazzy music finished, and we're going to have a little sing. Well, I am, and you can join me. Don't worry, we won't hear you if you're singing along and you're worried that people might hear you. If you just want to listen along, that's absolutely fine. And if there are any wrong notes, that's because I'm playing the piano at the same time as singing, and my piano isn't directly in front of me. It's slightly to one side because I've got my computer, mouse and keyboard and everything, so I'm sort of leaning over to try and hit the piano. Hope I don't hit the piano. So this song is a song from a Disney show, a real good feel-good show called Aladdin, and it's a whole new world. So it's a really fun little song, and the words are really nice. So it's good for us when we've got CFSME, chronic fatigue, to imagine being better, to think of lovely things, to dream, to have dreams. And that's what this song's about. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways and under on a magic carpet ride. So let's go on a magic carpet ride together. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways and under on a magic carpet ride. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But now from way up here it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you. Unbelievable sights, indescribable feelings, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. A whole new world, 100,000 things to see. I'm like a shooting star, I've come so far, I can't go back to where I used to be. With new horizons to pursue, I'll chase them anywhere, there's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you. And I'll finish there. Fantastic. So John is here and he's saying a great job hosting these conversations. Thank you so much, John. What you do is very, very inspiring. John is a motivational, inspirational teacher, speaker in Canada, helping young people and other people, older people as well to realize the dangers of driving without taking due care and attention. And he has come through incredible tragedy, really, to help other people not go through that as well. So what he does is great. So John Westhaver, do follow him. So got loads of other strange messages here as well. That's going live on Facebook and on YouTube in a vertical format. So there we go. Now a Q&A session. So today, somebody in our YouTube community, YouTube channel, if you haven't subscribed and you would like some advice, some helpful tips, some information about chronic fatigue syndrome, go to Down to Earth with Katy, Katy, on YouTube, and I do videos there to help people understand a bit more about the condition, what it's like living with it, and giving them helpful, uplifting tips and remedies, natural remedies, and relaxing nature walks and things like that on there. So do take a look if you haven't. And we've just grown to just over 100 subscribers, which is really, really exciting. I should have a little sound effect for that. Woo, there we go. So Q&A. So a lovely lady called Miss Monique was asking about, I was teaching about the 3-foot world. It's a bit hard to say that. Get your teeth in. The 3-foot world. And she was wondering what it is. Because I was talking about this, when we get in our heads, we get full of many thoughts flying around our heads. What if this? What if that? Oh no, this might happen. And that can really, really affect our fatigue levels. It can cause an emotional flare-up of our symptoms. It can cause pain in us and cause us to feel really quite unwell if we're stuck in this fight or flight mode, and we need to relax and be in the rest and digest mode. So something that my coaches talk about is the 3-foot world idea. And I think this came from Marines who were in a danger situation often, and they could really get in their heads, completely understandably, and very worried about this might happen, that might happen, blah blah blah. And we can be like that and feel we're in like a dangerous situation, like just brushing our teeth or going out with the car or something like that. And so what they were taught was to stay in a 3-foot bubble, as it were, around them, 3 foot of space around them, and only think about that. Think about where they are in space right now, what they are doing right now themselves in that tiny space in the world, and try not to start thinking about what might happen in the future, or what has happened in the past, or all those what ifs. And if you're in your head full of worry, you're not able to assess situations calmly. So that is what the 3-foot world is. And when I explained that to this lovely lady, Miss Monique, she said, yeah, that was helpful for her. And she says she's just going to think about what she needs at that moment in time and give herself that space around her to just focus on that. So that really did help her, and I really hope that helps you too, because these things can be a real struggle for us to manage. So thank you for being with me. I hope this is helpful today, and I'm really looking forward to this, carrying on this new format for the podcast. On the podcast, we're going to have shorter episodes as well, and I will be interviewing or chatting anyway to others, but I just need to get a little bit better before I do that, because it's I'm in this CFS thing. I'm going through the trenches of that with you, so you know what it's like, and you know the things that exhaust you, and we have to learn, how to manage that, don't we? So at the moment I'm going for this solo, but I'm sure I will be getting there to bring some people on, and then we'll have some shorter episodes too with little tidbits of this and that. So really hope it's helped you. Thank you so much for being with me, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Let my mouse work so I can finish the live stream. Thanks a lot. And if you've commented and I haven't seen your comments, then don't worry, I will get back to them in a minute. Take care. Bye.